Today I'm going to be talking about Scout Labs, which is an online framework that allows you to do social listening to monitor what people are saying about you and your brand. So if we go and log into Scout Labs, everything in Scout Labs is driven by predefined searches. So in our dashboard we can see a number of predefined searches that I've already set up. If we go in to take a look at how these are defined, here they all are, and let's go in and edit the one that I have defined for a still restaurant. In this case I've preloaded that page, and you can see that this search consists of looking for the exact phrase still restaurant but excluding the word kitchen. Now the reason I exclude kitchen is because a lot of these search results for still restaurant include things like kitchen appliances. So I'm not interested in that, so I exclude that, and let's run the search. So we're going to start off with a blog post within the past 6 months, and you can see that here within the past 6 months we've got about 16 results where this search criteria has been mentioned in the blogs that Scout Labs monitors. This is one advertising an event at Still Restaurant. Here's one where this is obviously not what we're looking for. It's for still cutlery. So what I can do is get rid of that so it won't show up in future searches, and it helps narrow down what we're focusing on. I can also see the words that are frequently associated with these posts, and this allows you to see what other words are people associating with your brand. That's just beneficial to know in general, but it also gives you an idea of potentially what some really powerful ad words are in case you want to use online promotions like something like Google Ads. If we look at the Twitter feed, here are the results that match our search criteria in Twitter. The ones that are posted here aren't necessarily from individuals. Here's one from Restaurants ATL. Now Restaurants ATL, what they do is they keep Atlantans updated on the latest news, discounts, whatever, on restaurants, and they are mentioning Still Restaurant. This is an account on Twitter that's promoting this brand already. So if you're Still Restaurant, this is certainly someone that you want to follow. Potentially it's someone that you want to retweet, especially when it's relevant to you. And the next step would be actively engaging with this person and helping to encourage this behavior of positive promotion of your brand. It may be nothing more than just keeping them up to date on what you have going on and hoping that they will publish that to their followers. In this case, 426 followers, which isn't huge, but it's not bad, especially if it's free promotion. So coming back over to Scout Labs, let's go take a look at photos. Now within photos, what Scout Labs does is it searches a number of different services for photos that meet our search criteria. There's nothing for Flickr, but if we go to Picasa, you can see a number of images that have matched our search criteria. And as a brand manager, it's interesting to find out what images are people associating with your brand. It just helps to keep you a little bit more plugged in about how people are using your brand and perceive your brand. So let's go on to another search criteria I have, which is Parigi Restaurant, located in Dallas. And let's look at the blog posts for Parigi. Now here we don't have that many blog posts. There are 4 within the past 6 months that Scout Labs has found. The first 2 are actually from D Magazine. Well, the same way that with Still Restaurant, we talked about engaging people on Twitter and making sure that you help foster those relationships. You could just as easily come in and see the details of what this blog post has. In this case, we can see it's an announcement of a variety of different events throughout Dallas. If we scroll down to the bottom, you can see here's where Parigi Restaurant's mentioned. That's pretty good. You're aware of what people are saying about you. But the next step is going to the actual blog post on D Magazine, scrolling down to the bottom, and as a brand manager, in this case for Parigi, leaving a comment on this post. You become actively engaged in the conversation, and you're illustrating that not only are you monitoring what people are saying about you online, but you're trying to reach out to them and create an ongoing dialogue with them. Now, the result of that, ideally what you're trying to accomplish is turning potential customers into not just customers, but passionate patrons about your brand. This helps personalize the brand and makes it easier for people to be passionate about you. So that's great for local organizations, but what if you're more of a national brand? And I just chose Downy Wrinkle Releaser as something that might be able to help show some of this functionality. The same thing with the blogs. There are a number of blog posts that relate to coupons. If you're Downy and you're putting coupons online, then obviously you want people to use your coupons. And these are bloggers that are helping you achieve that. So actively engaging with them, talking to them, encouraging them, thank you for your posts, we appreciate that. Did you know that we have these other offers going on, or that we have this new product coming out? Again, you're building a relationship there, and you're helping to encourage them in this positive behavior of promoting your brand. If we look on Twitter for Downy Wrinkle Releaser, you can see that here's a great one. Dear inventor of Downy Wrinkle Releaser, I love you. That would be someone that you might want to follow as Downy, possibly engage with and help encourage that positive behavior. And let's look at videos. So here are videos that have been posted, and again, you can see there are a number of different sites listed, in this case YouTube, but there are people posting videos about this brand, and potentially they're posting videos about your brand as well. You can drill down to see the details, and I've actually watched this video. It's pretty low budget. It's a little bit slow in places, but it's a phenomenal. It has phenomenal support for this product. And again, if you're Downy, this type of post is great from a guerrilla and viral standpoint. And potentially engaging with this post, potentially just leaving a comment saying, you know, this is my name, I work with Downy, we really appreciate that you like our product. It again shows your audience that you're actively engaged and you're interested in hearing what they have to say about your product. So to show some examples of sentiment, I want to go in and do a search, for example search of Nike. Now, this takes a while to load, so I actually preloaded this. So this is a sentiment report on doing a search for the brand Nike. You can see a lot of information here. This is not an exact science, but what Scout Labs tries to do is look at the post information and determine, are these posts positive, negative, or neutral? You can see that according to their analytics engine, there are a lot of neutral posts with a lot of traffic, the traffic going up. There are a good number of positive posts, but there are also a couple of negative posts. In the same way that we talked about encouraging people that are saying positive things about you, helping to encourage that type of behavior, you might also want to do some damage control with your negative reviews. So if we were to click on the negative filter, and again I've preloaded that information, there's not, considering how big a brand Nike is, there's not a lot of negative comments here. But as a brand manager, if you were to come in and monitor this and you found a valid complaint, then addressing that complaint, if it's on a blog post, going into that blog and saying, you know, here's my name, I work for Nike, I'm sorry you had this problem with our product, but I would like to address it. It again shows your audience that you're actively engaged and potentially turns a dissatisfied customer into not only a satisfied customer, but potentially a champion of your brand, saying, I had a really bad experience with this product, but they addressed it. I didn't contact them directly, but they sought me out and addressed the issue for me. That's a pretty powerful message. So that's pretty much it for the overview of the searches. There's one other thing I want to talk about, which is Scout Labs tries to provide a working environment for your internal team that manages your brand. So in one example, you can have multiple people have access to this account and these searches. It might be your PR agency, your advertising agency, your internal technical guy, whatever. And they actually give you a workspace where that a collaboration can happen between the different parts of your team. In this case, I've set up a sample discussion, and here's my little comment, sample of a Scout Lab discussion. But you could just easily come in and create a new discussion for brand management strategy, negative reviews, positive reviews, upcoming promotional activities. And this creates a single place where your internal team can have a dialogue about those different discussion topics. which is a nice collaboration tool. So overall, I think that Scout Labs does a pretty good job. I think the usability is pretty good. I think the thoroughness with the information that it's pulling in is pretty good. The only downside I can see to it is that it costs money. The lowest package is only $99 a month, but certainly for local organizations, that might be a little bit pricey, but they also have a 30-day free trial. So I would recommend, if you have the time and energy to start actively doing social listening, I'd certainly recommend giving it a shot. And if you decide it's worth the money, then that's great. And if not, there are other solutions out there like CrowdEye, which I've discussed before, that might do the job.